You just finished our program. You're almost ready to certify and become a Blocks to Flow coach. So you have worked with the student. How was the experience so far? Not just learning, but implementing.
It was very scary and exciting at the same time. It was such a great learning opportunity, and I found that the learning part was easy, the implementing part was scary. So even though I felt like I had learned a lot, I still battled with all kinds of blocks, imposter syndrome and money blocks and all of those things. But it was really wonderful just to be able to push through and to overcome those blocks and to trust the process. And it really worked out well. It was so rewarding.
Thank you. And you're an amazing teacher. You've been doing this for a long time as a teacher, but this is a big shift for you, right? This way of working with families and students, right? Can you explain a little bit about that shift?
Right now, I'm a principal, so I haven't even been a teacher for many years. 20, I've been out of the classroom. And so that came with a lot of imposter syndrome. Will I be able to rely on what I used to do in the classroom? Have I learned enough? Is my information current enough? So there were all kinds of blocks that crept up that I didn't know were there. And to learn how to release those blocks was really valuable. And so the teaching, the mentality of shifting from teaching and fixing and solving and all of those things that we do every day to just listening and being present and holding the space and holding the silence, that was all very new. Teachers and principals do not do that. We are constantly trying to solve a problem and move on to the next problem that needs to be solved. And so it was just so nice to be able to take a breath and just be present and spend that time listening to a child, trying to help them co-regulate, all of the things that we wish we had time for at school and don't.
Yes, absolutely. And how easy or hard was it for you to work with parents in this capacity versus a principal or a teacher in the school system?
It was much easier, more so the level of respect is very different between teaching in a school system and coaching because the parents value what we have to say as coaches. They value us as leaders and as experts. And there's just a whole different level of communication and respectful communication.
Yeah. And you're a team. You
Mm.
become a team now versus you were on a different team. You're now on the same team.
Yes. So
Yes.
it's much more collaborative.
Yeah. That's what I love about this program as well, how much we can work with parents on the same team. And it's empowering for the child we're going to work with, the learner, when we're on the same team. Yes, absolutely. So you said earlier that learning is one thing, and when it's doing and implementing is another thing, and our blocks come up. So this program does not only help you serve others, to learners and parents and families, to unblock and flow so that they can reach their success, but it also has helped you to identify your blocks and flow as well. Can you explain about that?
Most definitely. I think that we all have blocks that we don't even realize we had. I certainly did not realize. If you had asked me a few months back, what's blocking you? I would have said, nothing, I'm fine. I don't have any blockages. I learn fine. I do my job. It's no problem. And it wasn't until I really started to get into the material and do some self reflection and some journaling that I realized, oh, maybe I do have some stuff to work on here. And blocks continue to come up every so often, but I feel like I now know how to clear them. Where before, not only did I not know they were there, I certainly didn't know how to clear them if I did know they were there. And now it's a faster process. I can acknowledge it. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. And I know what to do to clear it.
Amazing. That's amazing. And it's important as coaches to be in flow so we can help others to be in flow too, right? It's a very important process. So you've been with our cohort system How do you feel about how we have helped you to get to where you are today?
Oh my goodness. I think the level of support has been incredible. I really have felt that there has been support right from the very beginning at every step. And a really great, I love my cohort. The ladies are wonderful. It's a really great supportive environment to learn in. It's a safe environment to ask questions or share experiences that maybe didn't go as expected. I certainly had one that didn't go as expected. And so to be able to go into my cohort and say, whoop, that was a hot mess, and then have people mirror back or reframe how things turned out, it was just really nice to have that supportive network. The coaches were supportive. Allison and Kim were wonderful. You have been supportive all the way along, and the program is laid out so beautifully that it really is foolproof. If you follow it the way that it's laid out, you really can't fail the way that it's set up.
And you're the one of the first coaches to go through our AI system. That's a connection between the AI and the human coaching, because a lot of programs things that we just put it in and we just get it out as a script and we go and we coach, but it's not. There's a human element to our program where we're always constantly, AI could be a tool that could give us perspective, but we're the one who's going to choose what perspectives and what angles to take with our students, because I am the human who can, or you're the human who knows that child or the family. So tell me about that process, how it was working for you, going back and forth between you and the AI and myself.
What I really liked about every time I reached out to you with a scenario or a question, and you would give me an AI explanation of what had happened, and you always said, let me know what resonates with you. And what I liked about that was you were really trying to figure out whether this accurately reflects, in my mind, what is going on with the child that I'm getting to know, so that you can verify whether the AI is giving accurate information. And I really liked that level of checks and balances, that it wasn't just spitting out information to be used at random with whoever. It was really an attempt to make sure that the information that provided maintained the integrity of the systems that you have created, but also the really got to know the individual child that we're working with and reflected that child. And every time that I read over what you gave us, it was exactly, it described my child exactly.
It's powerful, right? It's powerful too. Yes.
Very powerful.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now that you have a student at the end of your program, you now have a student and you are so happy to serve them. I'm so excited to see their results. That's where it all lives, right? The results is our energy, right? When we see transformations, it's yes, it's working. So as a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach using the blocks to flow system, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about seeing that shift. And when the child finally realizes that they are not broken, that there are things going on that are not their fault, and that they can be in charge of their systems. It's such an empowering shift when you see that happen, because they realize that the narrative they've been telling themselves, I'm broken, or there's something wrong with me, or I'm not smart, or whatever it is that they're telling themselves, they now realize that there's something they can do about it. That it isn't just their lot in life to accept that this narrative is the truth and it will be forevermore. There's
Yes.
something they can do to change it, take control of it, and really live differently.
Yes. And tell me about the parents. How do they feel with the support?
Oh, the parents are just, I can see their shoulders drop and they took a breath. And you could just see when that moment happened where they really felt, oh, this might be okay. There's hope here that we don't have to live like this forever. We don't have to walk on eggshells forever. We're not going to fight with this child forever. And I think sometimes when parents are right in the thick of it, they look so far ahead and they think, oh my gosh, if it stays like this, what is life going to be like for this child, for our family, for me? And it's that moment when they realize that there's hope, that things are going to get better.
Yes, absolutely. It's a big shift for
Mhm.
you. Yes, exciting. As a holistic neurogrowth learning success coach, this system, blocks to flow, how important is it, the combination of everything happening together? Because a lot of programs out there, they focus on executive functioning by itself, then parenting coaching by itself, life coaching by itself, academic coaching by itself, but nobody does it holistically.
No, I think anything that happens in isolation is missing a huge opportunity. And this has everything so well integrated that it meets all of those needs. All of those things are important, but done in isolation at the exclusion of all the others is never going to be as effective as when you combine all of them together and have a fully functioning system. And we always use the car analogy. The car can't function with 3 tires. It can't function with half an engine. It can't function with just the engine and no tires. Like, you need everything. And that's really what this program is. It is putting all of the parts together to make sure that it's a functioning whole in working order.
Yes.
And then putting the child in the driver's seat.
Yes.
Which is really
we want to give him independence. That's the true independence, right? Absolutely. So what about as a teacher, as a principal, we are always moving in with the content and curriculum, expecting the student and the system of the student to be ready to focus and flow and focus and have the attention to do what we're demanding. But this process does not bring content or curriculum at all. So how does that feel for you? Where's my content? Doesn't that feel awkward for a teacher, a principal?
It did at the beginning, absolutely, because I thought, what am I going to do with this child if I'm not talking about math or science or social studies? If we're not doing phonics, my goodness, what are we going to talk about?
What is there to talk about? Right?
We talked about through the training all of the different systems. Then I was thinking, how are we ever going to get to math? We've got so many other things to talk about first. There are so many prerequisites that have to happen and be in place and in working order long before we talk about math. And so it doesn't even cross my mind anymore, because we're so focused on what's happening in your system. What is your brain telling you? What is your body saying? Where are you feeling this in your body? And then watching the body language to try to figure out what's happening right now. So I don't even think about the subject areas anymore until
if we go back to your car analogy. It's let's go to this destination, which is like 400 kilometers or miles away. Let's go, but the car is not ready or in a condition to go.
yeah. And so then it feels broken.
Yep.
The car is broken down on the side of the road.
Yep. It's not even starting. Where am I going? I can't move.
Yeah. So it's really, and I think that's an easy analogy for kids and families to understand. I know that when I pulled up the slide of the car, I could see everyone doing this. It makes sense. They understand. Yeah, I guess we can't press the gas if the car isn't working yet.
No, we can't. And adding more without fixing everything, just fixing one part won't do it either. That's what tutors do. Just come in and do one part. It's not going to work. It might start, but then we can't go far. We can't cover the 400 kilometer or miles distance yet because our systems aren't fully equipped. Yes, amazing. Thank you for being part of this movement. I'm so excited for you. Yes, thank you so much.
It's been very exciting, and I'm grateful to you and to all the coaches. It's been truly a life-changing experience.
Thank you. I want to ask you one more question. So you've been stressed out, right? Obviously, we as teachers and principals have lots to take care of, right? We don't take care of one student, we take care of hundreds of families, right, at a time. I don't think the world knows really what principals go through. You guys have a big plate of stuff to do every single day, and some of them you don't even get to do it in a day. You have to put it on to the next day and the next day. So you were pretty in a situation when you came into this program, your body was even giving up, right? You were stressed out. How are you feeling personally? How have you changed?
Oh, I was feeling very depleted. Like there was nothing left in the tank. And it seemed very chaotic and it seemed overwhelming. The number of special needs, the lack of support for these special needs, the fact that it felt like we couldn't get to everybody and we were failing everyone. So it's just a really demoralizing place to be because you want to help everyone and you know that you can't. You don't have the resources, you don't have the time, there's too many needs. And so that's why I started this, because I needed to feel like I could make a difference somewhere. And this was just, it felt like the missing piece to education that we've been trying all these years to do our very best and to meet the needs of everybody. But there was a huge piece missing, and it's not something we're ever trained in. And this is the missing piece. This is the missing link that education doesn't cover.
Yes, we all need it. And that's why it's a movement.
Yes, so it feels wonderful. It feels fulfilling, and it feels just very rewarding to know that we may not be able to help everybody all at once, but we're certainly helping individual families that we're working with, and it is making a difference.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being that person who wanted to serve students and families at this level, because it takes dedication to serve them. Thank you.